Okay, hey, this is Michael Imhotep. We're back. Let's try this again. We had some technical difficulties, had to restart the broadcast. Okay, so we reported on the story of Chikesia Clemons, the African American woman who was attacked by police at the Saraland Waffle House in Alabama, outside of Mobile, Alabama. You saw the broadcast we did about that a couple of days ago. And we have an update in that story. I wanted to talk about this. This was the story I was originally going to talk about before the story of the Bill Cosby verdict broke. And you saw the two videos I did dealing with the Bill Cosby verdict. Okay, everybody, everybody watching, follow our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network, and share this broadcast on your own Facebook page also. Okay, so we have reporting coming from Alabama.com, AL.com, as well as thegrio.com. Now, Chikesia Clemons, 25 years old, was the African-American woman who we saw in the viral video being attacked by police. She spoke out for the first time yesterday, Wednesday, April 25th, 2018, on Reverend Al Sharpton's radio show, Keeping It Real. She spoke for a couple of minutes. She didn't say a whole lot, but she was on with her attorney, Benjamin Crump, and also with her mother. So Benjamin Crump is representing them. He's the family attorney. He's not the prosecuting attorney, but the family attorney. So Alabama.com reported April 25th, attorney, police brutalized woman at Alabama Waffle House. Attorney, police brutalized woman at Alabama Waffle House. Okay, so they held a press conference on Wednesday. Attorney Benjamin Crump held a press conference on Wednesday, April 25th, to give some new details in this case and talk about some new witnesses, all right? So an African-American woman that was arrested by Saraland police officers at a Waffle House on Sunday, April 22nd, was quote-unquote assaulted, choked, and brutalized by law enforcement, according to a prominent civil rights attorney at a press conference in Mobile, Alabama on Wednesday. Attorney Benjamin Crump, who's a Tallahassee-based attorney, stood alongside the mother of Chikesia Clemons and presented new witness testimony that contradicted Saraland Police Department's version of events. In the photocopied statements, one woman said that a Waffle House employee told Chikesia Clemons that she should, quote unquote, know your place, which attorney Benjamin Crump believed had racial overtones. Both witnesses said in their statements that Chikesia Clemons did not appear to be drunk and was speaking clearly and concisely before and after officers arrived. Okay, before and after officers arrived. Okay, they also said that police officers entered the premises and went for Chikesia Clemons immediately before slamming her to the floor, threatening to break her arm, threatening to break her arm, and then arresting her. Okay, and we all have seen the viral video of that was shot by her friend Kenita Adams, who was there with her. Now, both statements also agreed that no one person mentioned a weapon. Both statements both agreed that no one person mentioned a weapon. In the reporting from the Saraland Police Department that we talked about in the previous broadcast, also in the article from the Washington Post, they talk about threats of possibly having a weapon. Okay, so Chikesia Clemons was arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. The police were called, at the news conference on Monday that the Saraland Police Department held. Officials said the women and her friend were acting belligerent inside the Waffle House in Saraland, which is north of Mobile, Alabama, drunkenly yelling profanities at restaurant employees and threatening to return with a gun and shoot this place up. Okay, this is what is in the police report. They also said that, the witnesses, according to the police report, said Clemons and Adams loudly shouted profanities at the Waffle House employees. One of them shouted, quote, "I'll come over this counter," end quote, and threatened to beat the employee, saying, quote, "B, I'm going to have your job. You ain't going to be here tomorrow." One of the witnesses, according to Detective Brian Mims, reported hearing, quote, "I may have a gun. I may have anything. I can come back here and shoot this place up if I need to," end quote. That is reporting from Washington Post, April 24th, 2018, in the article entitled "A Woman Was Tackled by Officers at an Alabama Waffle House. Police are defending the arrest." Also in the reporting from Alabama.com, April 23rd, 2018, Alabama Waffle House arrest. Police justify force with video and witness testimony. Alabama Waffle House arrest. Police justify force with video and witness testimony. They talk about the alleged threats, things like that also, okay? So if we go back to the article from April 25th from Alabama.com, attorney, police brutalized woman at Alabama Waffle House. Now, Attorney Benjamin Crump on Wednesday at the press conference in front of a crowd of around 50 African Americans, that he said that he had seen white murderers treated with more respect than Chikesia Clemons, and that the arresting officers should have established both sides of the story before immediately going after her. And we can all attest that we've seen white murderers like Raking, who shot and killed 4 people, 3 African Americans and 1 Hispanic, at the Waffle House in Tennessee. I think that was Tennessee. He was treated better than she was treated. Okay. Now, the press conference was hosted at the open air rear of Bar Kazula, named after Cudjo Kazula Lewis, the last survivor of the slave ship Clotilda. The Clotilda, right? This is a whole story in itself. The Clotilda was the last slave ship that came into the U.S. That was in 1865, if I remember correctly. And that violated the United States' own law that they passed Congress March 2nd, 1807, that ended the transatlantic slave trade, meaning the importation of enslaved Africans into this country. Okay, that was in that passed March 2nd, 1807. It went into effect January 1st, 1808. January 1st, 1808. The U.S. continued to violate their own laws when they outlawed the importation of enslaved Africans. Just a little background on the Clotilda slave ship. The schooner Clotilda is the last known United States slave ship to bring enslaved people from Africa to the United States. It was constructed in 1855 by the Mobile, Alabama captain and shipbuilder William Foster. The Clotilda was originally intended for the Texas trade, quote unquote Texas trade. It was 86 feet. It was 86 feet in length, 23 feet in breadth, possessed 2 masts and 1 deck, weighed 120, about 120 tons. And though not originally intended for the slave trade, the ship was capable of carrying an estimated 190 people. Okay. Shipbuilder William Foster sold the Clotilda to the prominent Mobile businessman Timothy Mayer for $35,000 in 1860. And after being approached by Timothy Mayer about commanding an illegal slaving voyage to Ouida, a port town in Dahomey, which is modern day Benin. Okay. So this was an illegal trade that they were engaged in. All right. I'm just going to stay on this for one more minute. People have to understand this. When you're talking about suing for reparations, you don't have an argument before 1808 because the enslavement and the importation of enslaved Africans was legal. You have to look at the period of time from 1808 to 1865 because the U.S. violated their own laws. And they kept violating these laws. Now you have a legal argument. And Dahomey, which is in modern day Benin in West Africa, Dahomey is where the Mino or the Ahosi or the Dahomey Amazons This is where they were, these African female warriors from the 17th century to the 19th century. And this is who the Dora Milaje, which means adored ones, in the Black Panther comic book and the film Black Panther, these bald-headed African female warriors who protect King T'Challa, they are patterned after these African female warriors from Dahomey, which is where the Clotilda took its enslaved Africans from for that last trip in 1865. All this history is interconnected and interrelated. So when we look at this, when we look at where they held the press conference on Wednesday, April 26th, in Mobile, Alabama, and Mobile, Alabama is where Timothy Mayer was from, okay? Timothy Mayer, who was the prominent Mobile, Alabama businessman, and he's the one who bought the Clotilda slave ship from William Foster, bought it for $35,000 in 1860. The press conference was hosted at the open air rear of Bar Kazula, and Bar Kazula was named after Cudjo Kazula Lewis. Cudjo was the last survivor of the last slave ship known to come into the U.S. in 1865, called the Clotilda, and was taking enslaved Africans from Dahomey, where the Dahomey Amazons are from, the Ahozi. Ahozi means our wives. They call the Ahozi or the Mino. Mino means our wives, and they were also called the Ahozi, the king's wives. Okay. All right. So now the press conference, which was also attended by Mobile, Alabama-based attorney Marcus Fox, comes 2 days after Saraland Police Department undertook its own investigation into the events of Sunday morning. Over 20 minutes, investigators justified the actions of the three officers involved and said that Chikesia Clemons had been charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. So these were the actual charges, okay? Because I know yesterday on what's that show, Sister Circle Live on TV1, I know some of the ladies were saying that she wasn't charged with anything. Yes, she was charged. Okay, she was released on bail, $1,000 bail that her mother paid. All right, so detectives also accused Chikesia Clemons and two people she was with of directing profanities at Waffle House staff before presenting video evidence that only showed Chikesia Clemons and her friends that only showed that they entered the restaurant and leaving after she had been arrested. It did not show the aggressive arrest similar to what was captured on a cell phone video and has since gone viral on social media. Now, here's the thing. There are multiple cameras that the police looked at. There's multiple surveillance cameras. So just because they didn't show at the press conference that the police had, they had a press conference on Monday, just because they didn't show that footage on Monday of her being attacked by police doesn't mean they don't have that footage. Now, the police video obtained from the Waffle House did not have audio and showed footage from 3 different angles. Now, Alabama.com, AL.com verified that there are 4 cameras in the Waffle House located at 1204 Industrial Parkway. Police also did not voluntarily address the alleged threat by one of his officers that he would break Chikesia Clemons' arm. Once asked by the media, Detective Colette Little said that it was not a threat, but a warning of what could happen if Chikesia Clemons continued to resist arrest. Okay, sounded like a threat to me. Now, much of the press conference led by Attorney Benjamin Crump on Wednesday sought to contradict the one given by Saraland Police on Monday, okay, April 23rd. Attorney Benjamin Crump said that he was not happy with the Saraland Police Department investigating itself and called on the Alabama Bureau of Investigation to open another investigation. Okay. He is also planning to speak with the Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney General in Alabama. Okay. Good luck with the Department of Justice. Okay. That's Attorney General Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III. Good luck with Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who's from Alabama, by the way. He was a U.S. Senator in Alabama. Okay, so stopping short of calling the boycott, stopping short of calling for a boycott of Waffle House nationally, Attorney Benjamin Crump said that the National Organization for the NAACP, a legal defense fund for racial inequality, would be looking at the restaurant to see if other evidence existed that showed discrimination against African Americans. Now, as I said in the broadcast a couple of days ago, I don't think I've ever been to a Waffle House before. I really don't even eat waffles, so I'm not going to the Waffle House. And there's a lot of other people saying they're not going to go to the Waffle House either. Now, he said that Attorney Benjamin Crump said that black men at a Waffle House in Oklahoma were asked to pay for food ahead of it being prepared. Should there prove to be a trend, Attorney Benjamin Crump said that African Americans should think carefully about continuing to eat there. Now, let's see. Just a second here. Okay. I'm trying to see who this person is. It goes on to say that, okay, so Marcus Fox, who also attended, he's a Mobile, Alabama-based attorney. Marcus Fox said that the footage and witness testimony show that police did not show both parties equal respect, and that exhibited a pre-existing prejudice against Chikesia Clemons. Quote, just should be balanced as the symbol and the law dictate, end quote. Now, Waffle House corporate office said in a statement on Monday that it stood behind the actions of law enforcement. Now, I think that's going to come back negatively on the Waffle House, because the Waffle House, their corporate offices, they're not condemning the mistreatment and the rough treatment of Chikesia Clemons. Okay, if it's a situation where one of the group or she made threats, okay, it's understandable for police to arrest them if there were actually threats made. But that does not justify the treatment of her. That does not justify the way they wrestled her, threatened to break her arm. That does not justify the way she was treated. Okay, so Chikesia Clemons' mother wept as she approached the microphone. This was at the press conference yesterday. She spoke about the strain that had been put on her family before claiming that her daughter had not slept for 4 days. Now, the Mobile branch of the NAACP is going to hold a press conference in Saraland on Thursday at 4 p.m. Today, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're supposed to hold a press conference, okay? All right, so AtlantaBlackStar.com, I'm not sorry, not Atlanta Black, the Griot, another African-American owned news outlet, because Byron Allen owns the Griot, okay? So the Griot.com had an exclusive article, which was an interview with Chikesia Clemons, and that's from today, Thursday, April 26, 2018, okay? We'll come to some of your comments here in just a minute. Share this broadcast on your own Facebook page, okay? How's everybody doing? Hey, this is Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network, host of the African History Network show. I'm a talk show host, researcher, lecturer, and writer. We're talking about an update in the story of the African-American woman attacked by police at the Waffle House, arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Her name is Chikesia Clemons. She spoke out yesterday for the first time on Reverend Al Sharpton's radio show, Keeping It Real. And she did an interview with the Griot.com. She is represented by attorney Benjamin Crump, who also represented the Michael Brown family and Trayvon Martin family, etc. Well-known attorney. He's the family attorney. He's not the prosecuting attorney. So he has no control over how, whether it's prosecuted or anything like that. He's the family attorney. Okay, so this could result in a civil lawsuit. Okay, but he a criminal lawsuit. Okay, that would be the prosecuting attorney, the district attorney. If they decide to bring charges, doesn't look like they're going to bring charges. Okay, all right. How's everybody doing today? We'll come to some of your comments here in just a minute. Also, very quickly here, those in the Detroit area, you know that Friday, April 27th, 2018, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., I will be doing a double presentation out in Oak Park at the Crown Point building, 25900 Greenfield Road in Oak Park, Michigan, Suite 340. Two presentations dealing with the film Black Panther. Number one, the role of Black women in the film Black Panther. And two, lessons from the film Black Panther, economic guerrilla warfare, political self-defense, and how to Wakanda the vote. Okay? It's a free event. Donations accepted. We have information at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. So check that out there. Those in the Detroit area. Okay? All right. So let's go back to the story here. And also, everybody follow us on our fan page, the African History Network, the African History Network. Okay, so when we look at the story from thegrio.com, look at the reporting from thegrio.com, their article from this morning. After viral Waffle House arrest, Chikesia Clemons speaks on humiliation, pain, and what she tells her daughter. She said, quote, "I'm constantly breaking down and crying. I'm constantly breaking down and crying." Okay. So Chikesia Clemons can be in the video, can be heard pleading, asking officers what did she do wrong. In turn, one officer can be heard threatening to break her arm if she did not comply with his commands. Her only crime, asking for plastic utensils in order to eat at a takeout meal. Now that's what the article says. Okay, it's hopefully they did not make any threats. Okay, hopefully they did not make any threats of shooting up the place or jumping over the counter and threatening to beat somebody up. Okay, now the trauma of that night. This took place early Sunday morning, April 22nd, 2018. The trauma of that night has left Chikesia Clemons shaken to her core. In an exclusive interview with thegrio.com, Chikesia Clemons, 25 years old, speaks out for the first time about her violent arrest and how she's coping with the emotional humiliation and physical assault she experienced just a few days ago. She said, quote, "It has been so hard. It has been so hard for me. I have been in pain. I can't eat. I can't sleep. In fact, I haven't really slept since the night it happened. I have bruises all over." Okay. And she said this during a telephone interview from her home in Mobile, Alabama. She said, quote, "I'm grateful for the support of my family and Mr. Crump, Attorney Benjamin Crump. I'm constantly breaking down and crying. I have a 6-year-old daughter. She sees me crying and then she starts to cry," end quote. Now, Chikesia Clemons, who has also retained the services of famed civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, is unable to speak directly about the incident until the criminal charges against her, which are disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, are settled. Okay, Attorney Crump held a press conference in Mobile, Alabama on Wednesday that we talked about to address the arrest and present 2 new eyewitness accounts that contradict what the Saraland police have presented. Quote, let's see, Attorney Crump said, quote, "We declared to the Waffle House Corporation and the Saraland Police Department, that is unacceptable the way they assaulted her, the way they treated this unarmed Black woman, the way they body slammed this unarmed Black woman, and the way they brutalized this unarmed Black woman." Okay. And Attorney Crump said this alongside Chikesia Clemons' mother, Chiquita Clemons Howard is her name, and attorney Marcus Fox. Now, Attorney Crump is no stranger to these types of high-profile, racially tinged cases. He has represented the family of Trayvon Martin, as we talked about. Also, he's representing the family of Stephen Clark, right, in the California area, in Sacramento. okay, killed by the Sacramento police, okay, in his grandmother's backyard last month. He can handpick any case he wants to take on, but he tells the Griot that Chikesia Clemons' case was particularly important to him. Attorney Crump said, quote, "I thought about the women in my life. This could have been my wife, my sisters, my nieces, my cousins. I literally watched the video and thought this could have easily been any of the women who I love the most in this world," okay, he said. Quote, "Women are disrespected so often, and these officers assaulted her, threatened her, choked her, and exposed her with no evidence whatsoever. They give young white men who are confirmed murderers more respect and consideration than they do for this unarmed Black woman." And that's true. This is a beautiful young sister, a mother, and she has been going through it. If we don't stand up for this young sister, then shame on us all, end quote. Okay. All right. So, okay. So they have a recount of what happened. We went through all that, and we did with that in the previous broadcast also. Okay. Now, looks like some additional information here. Okay, so Clemons and her friend Kanita Adams, who took the original cell phone footage that went viral, were reportedly arguing with the employees because they were asked to pay an additional fee for plastic utensils, which was 50 cents, which are normally free. Both women have said they were confused by the request since they had eaten at the same restaurant the night before and were not charged. When Clemons refused, she asked to speak to the manager and then asked for a number for the restaurant's corporate office to file a complaint. Okay, we know both Waffle House and Saraland Police Department stand by the arrest and say that the video does not represent the full story. The sort of 1 minute 30-second video that went viral, the police are saying that does not represent the full story. The police department has since released a portion of a 911 call and some footage from a security camera inside the Waffle House that night. In the 911 call, let's see, the 911 call, the employee's name was Atty, who called the police. Detective Colette Little at the press conference on Monday, Saraland's police public information officer, that's what she is, first played the initial phone call that was made by a Waffle House employee to 911 moments after Clemons and two others entered the establishment. The caller, who identified herself as Ally, A-L-L-Y, said that 3 people had entered the establishment with alcohol and were acting drunken and disorderly. They have been asked to leave, said Ally. Okay, when you read the accounts of this, there's video footage of them leaving out, and then they come back in. And we know one of the charges that Chikesia Clemons was arrested on was disorderly conduct. Okay. At least one of the witnesses that Attorney Crump presented on Wednesday, well, one of the witness statements said that the women, that the group did not appear to be intoxicated, and that they did not smell alcohol, if I remember correctly. Okay, so this is a developing story. This is not over. Now, quote, back to the article from thegrill.com, the waitress told the lady in white that she needed to leave because she was not serving her. The lady who was arrested got her friend to go outside and was trying to de-escalate the situation. There was no mention of alcohol being brought into the restaurant, nor any mention of a gun or any type of weapon, end quote, said Mandy Sullivan in her statement. Mandy is one of the witnesses produced by attorney Benjamin Crump. Quote, I don't remember what the waitress originally said to the lady who got arrested later, but she said something so rude to make the girl who got arrested upset. The girl who got arrested, Chikesia Clemons, stated in short that she just wanted the number to the corporate office and that she was not trying to be difficult, end quote. So after the police arrived, Mandy Sullivan, the new witness, said that both Clemons and Adams were trying to explain what happened earlier, but the officer was talking over them and not listening. According to Mandy Sullivan's statement, the cops went after Chikesia Clemons immediately. While the Saraland Police Department maintains that race played no role in their arrest, Attorney Benjamin Crump believes the imagery of three white male police officers tackling Chikesia Clemons, an African-American woman, exposing her breast, choking her, and threatening to break her arm, says otherwise. Okay? Now, the NAACP, they're in the Mobile, Alabama area. They are involved. Okay? They were having a press conference scheduled today, 4 p.m. Number one, David Smith, president of the local NAACP chapter, is planning a town hall meeting at the Cedar Street Baptist Church in Saraland today, Thursday, April 26th. The group stands in support of Chikesia Clemons and has already began protesting outside the Waffle House where the violent arrest occurred. They're also investigating this as well. And this is what, see, people have to understand. In a lot of these small towns around the country, the NAACP may be one of the only groups you have, or maybe the only group you have to stand up for you. And they do investigations. The NAACP across the country, this is something they have done historically for decades, okay? If you go back and study Rosa Parks, right? Many people know Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat on the Cleveland Avenue bus in Montgomery, Alabama, December 1st, 1955. Some people know that she was a secretary for the NAACP. What most people don't know is that one of the things that Rosa Parks did for the NAACP was investigate sexual assaults against African-American women, especially those committed by white men against African-American women. She would investigate those and gain evidence, okay? This is one of the things Rosa Parks did. Okay, so the group stands in support of Clemons and has already began protesting outside the Waffle House where the violent arrest occurred. There have also been calls to boycott the popular chain as other stories of discrimination began to surface. Once again, I don't go to the Waffle House. I ain't going to the Waffle House. Okay? And we need to redirect African-American dollars to African-American owned businesses that serve pancakes and waffles if you want to. Now, we already posted numerous times the article from shopblack.us called 47 coffee and tea companies that are alternatives, 47 black-owned coffee and tea companies that are alternatives to Starbucks, okay? We've already posted that a number of times. We'll post that again here on the thread of the broadcast. Some of these places may serve waffles, okay? If you just gotta have some waffles. Some people say make your waffles at home, okay? Let's see here. Let's pull up that article. Okay, here we go. And then we'll post this article here on the thread of the broadcast, but it's also at shopblack.us, SHOPP, shopblack.us. And in this post here, it has a link to the article that I wrote back in 2015. Why did Dr. King tell us to redistribute the pain? Understanding the power of economic withdrawal. Right? Why did Dr. King tell us to redistribute the pain? Understanding the power of economic withdrawal. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? This is Michael Imhotep, host of the African History Network show. We'll be on live Sunday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We broadcast on Facebook Live, but I'm in the studios at 9, 10 a.m. The Superstation. I do radio here in Detroit. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to follow us on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network, and turn on the notifications so you know when we're on live also, okay? We just posted the information again about the online courses that I teach. They're all on demand as well. Okay, all right. So, so David Smith, president of the local chapter of the NAACP, said, quote, I believe the Saraland Police Department has a lot to account for, okay? He told WKRG. He said, quote, what if she had hit her head when she was thrown to the ground? We'd be looking at a whole different event now, end quote. Now, representatives from the Waffle House have yet to reach out to Attorney Benjamin Crump to discuss the incident, and the Saraland Police Department has not released the names of the 3 officers who violently arrested Chikesia Clemons. And while the Saraland Police Department has stated they have no plans to discipline the officers, Attorney Benjamin Crump says the power lies with the people to right this wrong for Chikesia Clemons, okay? Attorney Crump said, quote, if you care about black women, you need to fill in their box and tell Waffle House that this is unacceptable. Okay, this all started because their waitress, who is their representative, discriminated against these young black people. We have to say that we will take our business elsewhere and refuse to give you our hard-earned money and allow you to treat our women like this, end quote. And I agree with that. Okay. Now, if they threaten to shoot up the place and all this stuff and threaten to beat somebody behind, if they did that, I don't agree with that. They shouldn't do that. But that still does not justify the mistreatment that we saw of the sister by the way the police handled them. Because I guarantee you, they handled Raking, who killed 4 people at a Waffle House in Tennessee. They handled the police when they call him. I guarantee you, they handle him much better than that. And we know when the authorities arrested Dylan Roof after he killed 9 African Americans at a church in South Carolina, Mother Emanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in South Carolina, they took Dylan Roof to Burger King, and he killed 9 people. Okay, this sister is unarmed. Now, is it possible from hearing the story about allegedly somebody may shoot up the place? Possibly. Is it possible that they may have thought maybe she has a gun? But even when she was on the ground, I mean, it was pretty clear she was unarmed. So just the whole way this thing took place, it seems wrong. Okay, so check out this article from thegrill.com, written by Wendy L. Wilson. Pretty good article by Wendy L. Wilson, April 26, 2018. After viral Waffle House arrest, Chikesia Clemons speaks on humiliation, pain, and what she tells her daughter. Quote, "I'm constantly breaking down and crying," end quote. Okay. All right, we'll post this here on the thread of broadcast here on Facebook. Now, keep in mind, we have all these videos that I do. We have these on audio podcasts at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, because I'll be putting this on audio podcast shortly. And also they are on iTunes, our iTunes channel, The African History Network Show on iTunes. The African History Network Show on iTunes. Okay, so S.C. White said it's a very sad state of mind when the police can be called on anyone for asking for utensils and company policy or management information, then adds injuries in the okay, so it appears from looking at the sequence of events, it appears, well, number one, according to from the 911 call, the reason why the police were called was because of, it appears, because of open contents. They came in allegedly with alcohol, smelled of alcohol. They were told you can't have alcohol in here because the Waffle House doesn't serve alcohol. So there are open contents laws. You can't just walk into the establishment drinking alcohol or have open contents. Then they were told that they couldn't have them. They left out and came back in. Okay, I'm trying to put together this timeline, but it appears that that took place before the order was placed and the dispute over the plasticware for 50 cents. It appears that being told that they could not come in with alcohol, on the video you see them going out and coming back in. It appears that took place first, but it's hard to try to, at this point, get a timeline. Now, Attorney Crump will probably in the next couple of days come out with a better timeline, a sequence of events. Okay, so Samantha, okay, thanks, Samantha. Shared it. Jimmy, Samantha hit share, then hit right post, but don't write, just hit post. Okay. Now they blocked me from doing that. Okay. Jimmy, how's everybody doing? Danielle said, I wish Johnny Cochran could be alive for this. Samantha says she is going through PTSD and she needs to get some help for her mental state. Yeah, probably so. Okay, I went to jail at the Waffle House. Ricky said, seriously, Ricky, for what? Okay. What's the big deal about the Waffle House? I mean, is their food good? I heard some people say the food isn't good. What do they serve besides waffles? You should be able to share this video. We're broadcasting from a fan page, the African History Network. Be sure to click on the follow button. This video comes up if there's a follow button here. Be sure to click on it. At the end of the video, be sure to click on the follow button, okay? You'll be able to share the video once we stop. But follow us at the African History Network, the African History Network on Facebook. Okay. Okay, guys, look, we got to get out of here. Those in the Detroit area, Friday, April 27th, out in Oak Park, Michigan, doing my presentation, dealing with the two presentations, dealing with the film Black Panther, the role of Black women in the film Black Panther, and lessons from the film Black Panther, economic guerrilla warfare, political self-defense, and how to Wakanda to vote. We have a couple of these presentations at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. You can order those. We also have a 48-hour sale going on. We got about 12 hours left in the 48-hour sale. We have a new bundle pack where you get 8 of my DVD presentations on sale for $80, regularly $130. It's the 8 DVD Black Panther bundle pack, and it includes 2 of my presentations dealing with the film Black Panther, the 1804 documentary dealing with the history of Haiti, Elementary Genocide Part 3, Black Friday Part 2. They deal with the school to prison pipeline and economic empowerment for African Americans. I'm in both of those documentaries, and you get some of my lectures also. It's an 8 DVD bundle pack, okay? So we just posted the link there. It's also at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. All right, we have to get out of here. Hey, remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world. Because right now, it's corrects wrong behavior. Wakanda forever. It's not over till we win. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.